before you come to Kenya in 2024, you must watch this video because a few things have changed, and it's my job to always report to you guys, to warn you guys of any changes, any updates, things that change in certain places that I do travel to, so that you guys don't make the same mistakes that I make, or you don't end up making mistakes that you shouldn't be making. So this is why I make these videos. So boom, if you don't know already, I'm back in Kenya in 2024, but I arrived here a few days ago, and when I got here, I thought everything was still the same with the travel requirements from the 2023. From 2023, I thought everything rolled through the same in 2024. So I arrived here, I landed here in Nairobi, and then when I got here, I traveled on a East African visa. Actually, let me close the window because I'm literally near the window in my apartment. This is the view outside. All right, boom. In case, you know, the traffic noise affects the sound. So boom, we're back. Let me sit on top of this couch right here. So anyway, boom. So I traveled using my East African visa, same visa that I used last year when I was flying in and out Kenya. So just a quick, you know, update to let you guys know how the East African visa works, in case you don't know, in case you haven't watched any of my last videos. So the East African visa basically gives you access to 3 East African countries, which is Kenya, obviously, Uganda, and Rwanda. So the process of applying for an East African visa, you have to apply through the embassy of the actual country that you're going to be using as what do they call it, port of entry, basically. So for example, if you're going to be flying in, if you're going to fly into East Africa from Europe, for example, like I did, and I'm going to land, for example, like in Uganda, so I have to apply the East African visa through the Ugandan embassy. So if you're going to fly in into Kenya first, before you go to any East African countries, you have to apply for the visa through the Kenyan embassy. I hope that makes sense. So anyway, this time round, I flew in from London, I flew in to Uganda. So I applied for my visa through the Ugandan embassy, like I did last time as well. But follow me, this time round, when I did that, I was in Uganda for a few days, and then I made my way to Kenya. So when I landed here in Kenya, I'm thinking everything is cool, right? So I get here, I'm going through immigration, I give them my passport, and they're like, you don't have a visa. You don't have a visa that allows you to enter Kenya. And I'm like, sorry, I have an East African visa. Because when you're coming in, you print off the visa, they send you through email, and then when you land at the airport, they keep the printout, the hard copy, and then they give you the sticker. People who travel know what I'm talking about. They give you the sticker and then they stamp your visa. Anyway, so I told her, hey, my visa, the sticker, my visa is, you know, is in my passport, and she's like, yeah, I see it. You've got an East African visa, but rules have changed from last month, because I came in. I'm in February right now. We're in February right now. So she's like, from 1st of last month, which was January, rules changed. So East African visa doesn't, if your point of entry is other than Kenya, your East African visa is not valid to come into Kenya. So if you choose to use to apply for an East African visa and you don't enter through Kenya and you enter through Rwanda or Uganda, if you want to come to Kenya, then you have to apply for a complete separate visa, single entry visa, to come into Kenya. So this is why I make these, you know, this is why I always make these videos, to update you guys. So basically, the East African visa is only valid if your point of entry is going to be in Kenya before you go to any other countries like Uganda or Rwanda. But if you land in those 2 countries first before you come to Kenya, nah, it won't be valid. So you have to apply for a separate visa to actually enter Kenya. So I landed and I'm going through immigration, so I'm giving them my visa, my passport, and the lady's like, hey, look, your East African visa is not valid, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, you need another visa. And I'm like, shit, you know? And I'm like, I wasn't aware, and she's like, yeah, you know, it changed last month, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, hey, I thought everything was the same, blah, blah, blah. You know, being, excuse me, I was a bit delusional because I thought everything was still the same. But again, this is what I always tell you guys, to always check on websites to make sure that, you know, if anything's changed, you know, you don't make the mistakes that I made. That's why I make these videos, to warn you guys anyway. So boom, that's the tricky situation I was caught into when I landed here in Kenya this time around. And so basically I was about to get deported. I've been dealing with a bit of a flu, so excuse me. Yeah, I was about to be, to get deported from Kenya back to Uganda, where I came from. She was like, hey, you need a visa. And I'm like, shit, I didn't know. I thought, I could use my East African visa. And she's like, no, things changed, boom, boom, boom. So I'm like, okay, what are we gonna do? She's like, you're gonna need to get, to apply for another visa. Right? You can apply for another visa right now, or you can go back. And I'm like, okay, can I do that now? Can I pay for one now? And she's like, yeah, you can pay for one for like $50. So I was like, okay, because obviously, you guys are traveling now. Like if you've traveled like, and for a few hours or whatever, you landed to a new country, you're thinking everything's cool, and then they're telling you, you can be deported or whatever. So, she said to me, you can pay for one for $50, and I was like, cool, no problem. So I had to pay for another visa, for a single entry visa into Kenya, $50. So that was the situation, and then it took a few minutes, boom, 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 and then yeah. So that's why I wanted to make this quick video for you guys, real quick, in case some of you guys wanna travel into Kenya, coming from outside of East Africa, of course, like Europe or whatever. I'm guessing it's not the same for East African residents, because if you're from East Africa, you can travel through East Africa using obviously your passport or even your national ID. So it's different for us foreigners, us aliens from abroad. So yeah, boom. So guys, if you're coming in, if you're planning on coming to Kenya in 2024, make sure you check on the Kenya embassy website to make sure you're up to date with all the new requirements of 2024. Don't fall victim but don't make the same mistake I did. It was literally my mistake. So I didn't check. I thought everything was still the same from last year. I got here, yeah. So luckily I could get a visa upon arrival for like $50. It was cool. So if you want to do that, then maybe you can just fly in and get a visa on arrival. But why take the chance? Just apply for one online before you come in. So anyway, that's why I wanted to make this video real quick. I didn't want to make it drag on. I hope I was clear. The East African visa, if you're not flying straight into Kenya and you go to Rwanda first or Uganda, to come to Kenya it's not valid no more. Yeah, so you need a single entry visa if you don't come to Kenya first. I hope I'm clear. Any questions you guys might have, ask me in the comments or use my Instagram, because I always answer all my questions on Instagram, but in the comments sometimes I might not see your comment as early as you might want me to answer it. But if you message me on Instagram, I always receive my messages, even the ones, the requested messages that people send me that are not my friends on Instagram. I always answer my all my messages on Instagram, so hit me up if you have any questions. Apart from that, just check out the new videos coming. So guys, just a reminder, just a reminder guys, if you get value from my videos and you find my information, I always bring you guys useful, feel free to subscribe to the channel and like the video, and so that whenever I drop new videos, you'll be notified. So go ahead and subscribe real quick and like the video. All right guys, more videos coming. I'm in Kenya. This is my apartment right here, and this is my view outside. Beautiful day here in Nairobi, Kenya. Okay, all right, catch you in the next one. Peace.